The 911 operator noticed something wrong immediately. The man on the line wasn't screaming. He was whispering. And behind his voice, clear as day, came the sound of water moving, slow and heavy, like something large shifting its weight just beneath the surface. Then the man said, "It's standing in the water, and it keeps telling me not to blink." The call came from deep inside the Atchafalaya Basin, Louisiana. Rescue teams were dispatched within minutes. They found his boat drifting in circles, engines still running, phone still connected to the call, but the man had vanished. The 911 line stayed open for 6 hours, and whatever was on the other end never hung up. The Atchafalaya Basin is not a swamp you get lost in. It's a swamp that keeps you. Locals don't fish after sunset. They don't camp overnight. And if their boat engine cuts out, they don't swim, no matter how close the shore looks. Because the water lies. It reflects things that aren't there and hides things that are. Old Cajun families pass down one rule above all others. If the swamp starts talking back to you, leave immediately. Most people don't. In 2003, a wildlife photographer named Caleb Fournier went missing while documenting nocturnal animal behavior. His camera was recovered days later. The footage was mostly unusable. Static, fog, distorted movement. But the audio survived. At first, it's just insects, frogs, water. Then Caleb whispered, "There's someone standing where my reflection should be." He tells the camera he can see himself in the water, but the reflection is smiling. When Caleb turns around, the camera drops. The last thing recorded is a voice, not his, softly saying, "You blinked." Over the next decade, emergency services received 9 calls from the same general area. Every call shared disturbing similarities: heavy breathing, whispering instead of shouting, water sounds too close to the microphone. Victims describing something watching them from just below eye level. One woman cried, "It's copying my voice. I can hear myself calling for help from the trees." Another caller begged the operator, "Please don't send anyone. It learns faster when more people come." None of the callers were found.
Search crews described the same unease. Boot prints that stopped abruptly at the water's edge. Boats anchored properly, like their owners planned to return. Personal items laid out neatly on the banks. And no signs of struggle, just water disturbed in wide, slow circles, as if something had stood there waiting. In 2017, a park ranger named Daniel Broussard agreed to wear a body cam during a night patrol. Against protocol, against advice. At 1:12 a.m., his breathing changed. At 1:14, he whispered, "It's standing where the water shouldn't be shallow." The camera shows nothing unusual, just swamp. Then Daniel stops walking. The audio picks up something else. Footsteps, not splashing, stepping. The ranger's voice trembles. It doesn't have a face, just a space where one should be. At 1:18 a.m., the camera tilts toward the water. The reflection doesn't match reality. Something tall, still, watching. The feed cuts out. Daniel was never recovered. Locals say the swamp learned long ago that people come when someone disappears. So now it doesn't rush. It separates them first, messes with sound, with reflections, with time. It waits until the person understands they're not alone anymore. And then, it steps closer. A man and his teenage son fishing after dark. The son is crying. The father whispers, "Don't look at the water. Whatever you do, don't look." The operator hears something else. A second voice. Calm, patient. "He already saw me." The call ends when the boy screams. Only one body was found. The father, eyes wide open, no wounds. Medical examiner noted severe hemorrhaging behind the eyes, as if he had been forced to stare at something for far too long. The Atchafalaya Basin is still open to the public. Boats still drift through it. And sometimes, late at night, 911 operators report something strange. Calls that connect, with no one speaking, just water, breathing, and a voice that doesn't belong to anyone registered in the system, quietly waiting for someone else to blink.